Good morning, guys. So today is hopefully the last day I will be working on this project. But there's a lot to do, so I might have to work on it a little bit tomorrow, or at least pretty late into the evening to get it done. All that's left to do is the hood, but the hood is the most detailed part of the costume, and it has, I think, like 18 or 20 spikes on it. And they're quite time consuming to make and to sew on, so I think that will really eat up a lot of today. I have the pattern drafted for it now, but I haven't done any cutting out or sewing related to it. So my first step for today is going to be getting everything cut out, and then I'll probably assemble the spikes, and then I will start assembling the hood. I also kind of drafted a little mini Night Fury hoodie pattern that would fit my dog. I'm not usually one of those people who dresses up our dogs for anything other than warmth when they really need it. So this is really out of character for me, but I made her a little Momo hoodie when I made my Apple one, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. So I kind of want to make her another one. I think it would be really cute, and if I have the time, I'm going to do that today as well. So you might see a few clips of me doing that mixed in with the hood, but this video will still be very much focused on my pajama set, not hers. I have so much to do today, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just to give a little bit of context though, the next few clips are about drafting the patterns for this, and they were filmed yesterday. So I've already done that, and now I'm getting started on new stuff, but I did want to include those clips. So let's get into it, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
So I think I figured out a hood pattern that I like, but the thing with hoods is that you really can't visualize them until they're partially made. So I might be making some major adjustments further down the line, but for now this is what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to do my best and hopefully it'll work. So I've got the main two pieces that make up the hood, and then this is a stripe that will go up the back and hide the seam line. This is a little spike. There will be 3 of those right next to each other, and then I have a bigger version which will go down the back of the hood. That's the tiny horn on top. This is the biggest sort of ear that Toothless has, and it's definitely the most expressive one. So it differs a lot in shape depending on whether he's happy or focused, since every reference photo has a different expression and a different ear shape to it to figure out what it should actually look like, and I'm still not 100% about it, but I'm gonna try it, and if it doesn't work, I will adjust it. And then I have these 2 little flaps, which are sort of like ear whisker things almost. I don't really know how to describe them, but I've got everything planned out. I may or may not have just drafted a little Night Fury costume that would fit my dog. But just think of it, it could be so cute with the little wings and the little tail, and it would be adorable. Look at the little spikes for the top of her head. It's gonna be so freaking cute. And I really wasn't planning on doing this, but someone on Tumblr asked me if I was going to, and I just had this sudden urge to do it, and I couldn't get rid of that urge. So I'm gonna make it, or at least I'm gonna try and make it. There are a lot of little fiddly bits, and I'm not sure how well those will translate with such thick materials. But I've been very busy since I filmed the intro. I got all the spikes and ears and everything transferred onto cotton and flannel, so I have all of these as guides. A lot of the ones on the cotton are ones for the mini dog costume because it's thinner fabric, so I'll be able to get cleaner lines. As you can see, there are a ton of spikes. This is for the back of the hood, this is for the top of the hood, these are all the ear pieces. So the next step is cutting Minky out for all these spikes. For a lot of the ear pieces, to give them the volume I want, they're going to have wire in them, and they're also going to have interfacing in them. So I have to remember to do that before sewing them up. Over here, on the once again very messy rug, I have the hood pieces cut out. That's the little dog baby hood. These are all the pieces for my hood. That piece is lining, and then the top layer of the hood is 2 separate pieces, and the ears will be mounted on that piece. Over here, it's just more dog stuff. I won't go into that too much, but all the pieces are cut out for it. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the Minky layers and interface those, and then I'll have a ton of sewing to do. So I've got all the parts of the hood that don't need interfacing cut out, and I've also turned all of my little spikes into Minky sandwiches. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these together and then get the ends of these turned over, and then I'll move on to working on the little ear pieces that need to have interfacing in them and everything like that. because I want to get this done and out of the way while this desk still has nice lighting, because it gets really overpoweringly sunny in here in a couple hours. So I want to get this done first. So I got the bottoms of all the spikes finished, and I just realized that I won't even be able to sew them on until later tonight when the hood's assembled. So I'm not even going to bother stuffing them yet. Instead, I'm going to focus on getting the interfacing and little sandwiches together so the ear pieces can be sewn. So that's what I'm going to work on right now, and these will be temporarily set aside. I got all the horns sewn together. I also sewed the applique for the hood, and then I sewed the back seam of the hood lining and the hood together. I've got them pinned so I can see the shape, and I'm actually really pleased with them. I think all of these ones have enough volume that they don't need quilt batting or boning added, but I'm definitely going to have to figure out something for these guys to make them stand up and look cute. But I'm going to do that after I eat some lunch because it's almost 3 o'clock now. I think I also have a bit of editing and blogging to do, but once that's done, I will come back upstairs and get back to work. So I got the top stitching done on all the little ear things, and I got the back stripes sewn onto both hoods, which is just going to add a little bit of texture, and on mine there will be spikes going up the back of this. Here are the little dog ears, here are mine. I think they look much cuter in this proportion, but we'll see how they look once they're sewn on. The larger ones are going to be mounted over an interfacing base, which is going to cause them to stick up. But these sets are going to be sewn into the seam that attaches the front portion of the hood. So I'm going to get to marking those and figuring out where they should go, and then I can sew them on. Okay, so a lot more progress has been made, but it's been sort of really crazy trying to get to this point. I basically really didn't like and couldn't visualize how these things would look, so I couldn't find a placement with them that I was happy with. So I ended up sewing on the front piece and then leaving a little gap open for them to slip into, and then I sewed in the lining, and then I put a piece of very thin flexible plastic boning in a channel that I sewed. So now it holds its shape a little bit better, and once I put it on I could actually see how it looked and figure out where I wanted these to be. So I've decided on the placement for them, and now I'm just going to go ahead and sew them in, and then I can sew the big ones on. And while I've been working on that, I also got this little one done. Look at this cute little spike on the very tip top. Do you see that? I think it's really cute. Hi guys, so it's a new morning, and unfortunately I did not get this finished last night. I ran into computer problems and ended up having to go out to Best Buy, and there wasn't enough time left in the day to get this wrapped up. But I'm definitely going to finish it today because this has dragged on for way too long, and even though it's been fun, there are other things I want to work on, and I'm sick of my floor looking like this. So I'm excited to be done working with this fabric and to have this project finished. For the ears or the main spike on his head, I've decided to fold the tops over to give it a blockier shape, because right now they look too much like goblin ears, I think. And to get them to stand up on their own so they will look perky and nice on the top of the hood, I've made little buckram tubes that fit into them. On the hood front, I got all my spikes made and sewn on while I was watching Castle and Face Off. So now that's finished. I think the top ones look really cute. And I've got the ears on too, or the little flaps or whatever you want to call them. So now I just need to sew the big pieces on and then tack these to them so they'll stick out more. And then the hood will be finished and it should be ready to be sewn onto the body of the garment, which is really exciting. Actually, wait, I completely forgot. I have these too. And these little spikes go like right there, and they can't be placed until after these guys are sewn on. So I have that to do as well, but then this will be finished. My little dachshund project, which I know this video isn't about, looks like this so far. I haven't done any assembly at all of the body of the thing, but I have all the appliques done. So I should be able to whip that together pretty quickly, but I'm going to make sure I get mine finished first. So the hood is done, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it onto the bodice portion of the hoodie and then sew it together, and my hoodie will be completely finished, and the shorts are finished, so it'll be done, and I'm really excited to try it on and see how it looks. I also have a whole bunch of other stuff pinned over here for the little doggy hood, which I will put together really quickly. So I've made some progress on Gwen's little hoodie. I got the legs attached to the back and the front panels, and I also got the tail stuffed and then sewn on, which I think looks really cute. The hood has the lining sewn in, so I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of plastic boning to that, and then the hood can be sewn on. I also have the wings, which I haven't finished embroidering yet, so I'll probably do that a little bit later today. It's done, guys! I feel like if I made this again, I could definitely work out something better for the shape of the little ear thingies on the hood. They're not quite what I'd hoped they would be, but I absolutely love everything else. I think these spikes are really cool. I think the back of it's really cool. I like the pocket. I like the fabrics I chose. I think the textures look really cool and that this does resemble scales. Here's how it looks from the back. It's just so soft and huggable and comfy, and I really love it. I could be happier with how the hood turned out, I think. But for the most part, I really like it. I'll probably have an ending clip on this video showing me wearing it. But before I can film that clip, I still have Gwen's to finish up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get working on that, and then I'll show you guys what hers looks like when it's finished. So I have the hood finished, I got the horn sewn onto it and added the boning, and then I sewed it onto the body of the garment, and now I have a cute little hoodie. And I'm gonna go downstairs, and I think I'm gonna watch the newest episode of Gold Rush, and I'm gonna finish embroidering the wings, and then I can just whip stitch those on by hand, and it'll be finished. I think it's really stinking cute, and I really hope it fits Gwen, because I haven't actually tried it on her yet, so I guess I should do that too. And then I can clean up this room! It'll be back to normal and I can get back to historical projects, and I will also have a really cute hoodie to wear, so it'll just be a win-win all around. So I have a bit of hand sewing to do, and then I will show you the finished result. So it's finished, and I'm wearing it, and it's really soft, and it's really comfortable. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. There were a few moments there where I was like, I don't think this is really going to look good, but I'm happy with how it turned out, even though there are a few things I would do differently next time, especially with the hood. And speaking of the hood, shall we have a dramatic moment? Ta-da! The hood is the most important part of this, and it's also my least favorite part of this, which is kind of disappointing. I just don't love the shape I chose for the ears and the placement of them. I don't think it's that great, so I would probably switch that up if I was making another one, but I do really like the spikes here. And I absolutely love the spikes on the back of this and on the sleeves. I think they're really cool, and they make me feel like a ninja or something. Not very dragon-like, but they make me feel cool. So overall, I think this was a success, even though it isn't quite perfect in my opinion. I think it was worth making, and I'm glad I made it, and I do think it turned out really cute. And it's definitely really cozy, which is kind of what you want out of a pair of pajamas. A couple of people asked me if this was washable, and it should be. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Minky fabric and the cuddle fleece are both materials made for making stuffed animals or baby quilts. That's like what they were invented for. So they're definitely fabrics that can take a beating and can go through the wash. They just have special drying instructions, which I can't remember right now. The one thing I'm worried about it in the washing machine is the buckram in these top little ears, but I can always take the ears off if they crack or they break in the washing machine, because they aren't sewn into any of the seaming of the hood, they're just whip stitched on. I don't think I really have anything else to say. I will include few clips of Gwen wearing her Night Fury costume at the end. I ended up just safety pinning the wings onto her little hoodie because I wanted them to be removable, and I didn't like how the snaps looked when they were unsnapped. I just decided I'm gonna go with a safety pin. It'll be easier and it'll look better when the wings aren't being worn. And as always, I will have a blog post with more pictures of this and more detailed instructions and a write-up on how I made it linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this series. I feel like this series of vlogs is different from my other ones because there wasn't any conflict or brainstorming or me trying to figure stuff out. Everything went surprisingly smoothly. So I don't know if that made it more interesting or less interesting or what, but I really hope you enjoyed these videos, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch them. I hope I will see you guys in my next one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a tutorial, and then I'm going to be filming some requests and some more of the making of videos, and it should be a good mix coming up. And that's it! I hope you have a really great day. The vicious Night Fury, as she attacks a fox. I didn't even know they had foxes in Burke. They're so scary!